All right, let's start it up. We are back with more Deceive Inc. here. We're doing voiceover over some Sasori games here, so this talk will be very disconnected to what you're seeing on screen, but the gameplay is quite fun, so I hope you enjoy the visual over talk of what I'm talking about. So let's get right into what we're here to talk about. I don't know, there's not a great way to say this, but I do also think the framing of this is important. So I'm going to say the important part first, and then we'll talk about the nitty-gritty details first. So this is the really important part, and again, I think the framing on this is pretty important. But functionally speaking, Deceive is no longer going to be receiving content updates. From a gameplay, from a player perspective, that's the current state that was announced. Is there's no plans to do any more content updates for Deceive. That's like the too long didn't read, the long and the short of it. That's really what's happened. And now we're gonna get into some details, but I'm gonna kind of repeat and reiterate the idea throughout this video that the game is playable and remains playable as it is right now. There's just not going to be any new content. Earlier today, there was an announcement on the forums, I suppose, actually the announcement came out on, from, I believe, the co-founder of Sweet Bandits, that essentially, I'm paraphrasing slightly, but this is almost a direct quote, the Sweet Bandits team is no more, and their partners at Tripwire Presents are charting the path forward. That's really the meat and potatoes of the announcement. I'll link it. There's a lot more going on, and you should read it, and it's very heartfelt, and there's a lot going on, but I'm trying to just extract the important facts here for this video. So the wording is the Sweet Bandits team is no more, and of course Sweet Bandits is the development team of Deceive Inc. Should probably shout that out. And then there's the publishing side, which is Tripwire Presents / Tripwire Interactive, does the publishing on the game itself. So all the content of the game comes from Sweet Bandit Studios. Now, their team being no more, I don't know exactly. I mean, it's kind of obvious what that means, but the specifics as to what that means is a bit lost on me. I'm not sure if the studio no longer exists, or it exists in like the slimmest form possible, or maybe the studio doesn't exist either. But functionally for us, this means that the people who make the content for the game are no longer making content for the game. Yeah, I take the team is no more mean to mean that at least the team has moved on in some way. So I hope all the best for them, of course. But their partners at Tripwire Interactive, Tripwire Presents, are charting the path forward with the goal of keeping the game playable and available as long as possible / long term. There's been some statements made from the Tripwire side as to what all that kind of means. We did get some numbers, which I'm not necessarily sure we can hold them to just because of things being what they are. But they did say, someone from Tripwire did say that if they ever were to announce server shutdown, it would be with at least 6 months notice, and they are not announcing that at this time. So yeah, again, right now, the state of the game is that there is no new content updates. There is no current plan for the servers shutting down or anything like that. Just again, you're gonna hear that a lot because I think the framing's important. There's a lot of somewhat scary stuff relating to the game here, so I'm just gonna throw it out there again. Right now, the state of the game is it's not receiving content updates, and if there ever will be a server shutdown, we've been told we'll probably get 6 months notice on that. So those are those numbers. Tripwire, as I don't want, I guess it's taking over as shouting that path forward, to use the words that were in the announcement. Their goal, they have said, is to keep the game available as long as possible.
Much better.
So yeah, that's kind of it. There's kind of a lot of other stuff to talk about with regards to that. There's, for me personally, there's gonna be I'm gonna not talk about myself much in the remainder of this video, or this channel stuff. I think that kind of deserves its own video, and this kind of deserves its own video. And there's also some stuff still happening that is going to deserve its own video as well, that deserves its own video and is actually kind of exciting, even though in the face of this somewhat disappointing announcement, or sad announcement, I suppose is a better way to put it. So yeah, there's some other stuff that I kind of want to clear up. There was some confusion I saw in like the Discord stuff, so you know, I don't know how many people may have thought this or not, but I'm just gonna try to make this very clear. There was someone, at least one person was like, oh, the Tripwire people like laid off the Sweet Bandits people, and that's not true. That is definitely not the case. Those are two very separate entities that are partnering up to deliver the game. There's no one can lay off the other or anything. So just to clear the air on that. So that's not how that works. This was a decision made, or thing that happened to the Sweet Bandit studio completely independently of the partnership. So wanted to say that. What else? I got a list here. Yeah, I also want to do a small shout out to the Discord moderation team, who's had to deal with this as the announcement came out.
There's luck.
So I hope they're all doing well, because I have the advantage of I got to read the announcement and then peek in at what was happening in the chat, and saw that I didn't want to be there and leave, and then could peek back in later. But they have probably had to be there through the whole thing and read all the stuff and moderate, and yeah, I kind of feel bad for them, and I hope they're doing okay. Because some of the stuff that got said, or the result, was just unfortunate. But there's another thing to talk about. Sometimes this comes up pretty frequently when you talk when people talk about Deceive, and previous conversations that come around it may be dying. A lot of people bring up free-to-play model, or if it went free-to-play it would save it. I am going to take a minute to address that. I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to. So the free-to-play model, I assume the idea is more players. If you make the game free, that means more people will play it, which means more money. But with the free-to-play model, what happens is you get more players, but that doesn't actually guarantee more money. That's not how that works, because you're giving the game away for free. Obviously, I'm not an expert in the matter and not going to pretend I understand all the ins and outs, but more people does not necessarily equal more money. So the free-to-play model doesn't necessarily work, period. And then it also relies on selling a lot of cosmetics, which this game is very consumer friendly in that matter. For like our whole season pass is like $10-ish, I think, and it gives you $4 worth of the premium currency back. And you get like a ton of cosmetics, and like the most expensive thing we have is like $10. Actually, I guess it's the new bundle was $20 or so. So yeah, kind of wanted to shout out that. Probably don't need to address the free-to-play thing, but the free-to-play model would not have saved it. I think there's been a lot of talk about that, but yeah, I thought I'd throw that out there as well, because I'm just gonna ramble on about stuff for this video, I guess. But yeah, that's really the announcement. The game's not getting content updates, and they're working to keep the game available long term. We do actually have a second game in this video, so I'm gonna keep talking. We are gonna take a second to view the mission report here.
There's plenty more suitcase in the
Just wait. This was a pretty good game, actually. I'm not sad I voiced it over, but doing it live would have been pretty cool, except for the AFK guy at the end. There was some interesting decisions to be made on this one. I also have to hit 700, but this video is not about me. Alright, here we go. Game 2. So yeah, there's some other stuff that's happened in the Discord. I shouldn't talk much about the Discord. We've done like the announcement part, but I don't know. There's no, I'm not gonna talk about it. There's no point. Oh, I should shout out for this video. I'm not gonna have comments on. That's intended, just because there's a lot of stuff to be said and a lot of yeah, there's a lot of stuff I just don't want to read about it. Now, there's a lot of positive, feel-good messages I'm gonna miss because I turned comments off for this one, but there's a lot of other messages that are like, well, if they just had done this, it would have worked, or if they had done that, it would have been okay. And I just don't want to read those. I think the whole idea that there was a change that they could have made to fix it that they didn't consider is just ridiculous, and writing that as a comment is just, I don't know, it's kind of ridiculous in itself.
If I must.
Yeah, so that's why comments are going to be off for this one. Just because I don't want to see the ones that are like, oh, well, they could have done this, they should have just listened to me and it would have been better. And it's like, I'm pretty sure that they didn't want it to go this way. I'm sure they did the best they could. And yeah, anyway, that's probably another tangent. Oh my gosh, look at me miss these darts. That was a rough fight, but I'm glad the sword cleared it up there. Okay, I did not know where I would be at this point, so I might just let the rest of the game play out, because I think I've said all the things I need to say. Like I said, I'm going to talk more about me and how it affects this channel and myself, and in a different video. And there's another announcement type thing that's going to be happening that deserves its own video. So there's still some stuff happening. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna let the rest of this play out without me voicing it over. I didn't record it like with my usual talking, because I knew I was gonna voice it over anyway, so it's just gonna be game sound from here on out. But yeah, obviously we hope everyone at Sweet Bandits lands on their feet. Presuming they need another job, they get that quickly, and yeah. Oh, I can talk about some of the stuff they had planned, and where you can find it. I'm not going to link out to it, but I believe it's Outstation. I saw links going out to what they had planned for the holiday event. Like, you can get a picture of what the holiday, the tavern map we have now with like snow on it and that kind of thing. Seemed kind of cool, so I'm not going to link to it. I'm sure someone can find it. Yeah, if you're interested in that. Other than that, yeah, that's really the update now. The current state is the game is not receiving content updates, and they'll go from there. We'll go with them. We'll see what happens, and we hope everyone involved is doing okay. And I don't have a ton more to say. There's still a couple minutes left. I gotta get the package and extract here. That's not a spoiler because I actually don't remember what happens. Yeah, there'll be more here. I guess slight spoiler, there'll be more on this channel. At least 2 more videos talking about, so at least 3 more. I have another one planned after the 2 I've already talked about. That's gonna be another one. So there's gonna be at least 3 more videos, not to mention anything I choose to make with the current Deceive content, because it's still a game that exists and is playable and you should still play it, but just understand that there's no new content updates coming. I think that's it. I'm gonna let it play out the rest of the way. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Still like the video because it helps for the algorithm, especially since there's no comments, so that would be really helpful. I mean, I'm still gonna ask for subscriptions because that's the YouTube thing, but whether or not how long we'll be here, that's a discussion for another video, which I've said a couple times now. And yeah, well, I hope to see you in the next one, and I'll let the gameplay play out here. It speaks for itself. The ending game's actually kind of cool here, so stick around. I hope you watch to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.
Done.
Rival agent detection mode activated.
Fuji, slowly, slowly.
Rival agent detection mode engaged.
Bringing back memories I'd rather forget. I could use a cooking.
Rival agent detection mode started.
Easy.
Rival agent detection mode engaged. Extraction vehicle has arrived. Initializing rival agent detection mode. Rival agent detection mode engaged. Intel running low. Intel depleting rapidly. Extraction's rival agent detection mode started. Rival agent detection mode engaged.
Intel acquired.
Running low on Intel. Extraction vehicle has arrived. Be careful. Initializing rival agent detection mode.
Ideal place. hasty victory.